Good afternoon, world. It's moments past noon in Waxahachie, Texas, deep, and I do mean deep in the heart of the Lone Star State. And today is the 10th of February, episode number 118 of the mighty Grit and Good News, which we broadcast live twice a week from our palatial second story studios in the shadows of the historic Ellis County Courthouse. Enough about all that. What you really want to know is that at the board, capable as always, is our man Sam Brooks, your co-host right here, resplendent in his Olympic feel today, Jeffrey Lynch. And to my right, your host, my friend, my partner, Scott Brooks.
Thanks, Bud. Welcome everybody on this nice day outside. Looks like we might get a little bit of mist of a rain here and there, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's still
Hazy still.
It's still is yeah, pretty nice. We had the air conditioner on last night. Thank you for being here. We do this show, as you know by now, every Tuesday and Thursday from noon to 1 o'clock Texas time. The best time in the world, by the way.
Have
And
you ever gone through this experience when you go to out of town cities and you pull out the sports page and you look at the standings, and most of them will have like an east, a central, and a west,
yeah,
however they call them.
yeah.
The order in which they put them in their newspaper has to do with their geography. The
Oh, is
East
that
Coast
right?
people
Yeah.
always have to be on the
I've
top.
never really noticed
Oh, it's
that.
kind of
Good
a fun
catch.
thing to
Yeah.
watch, but I'm weird about what I
Yeah,
find.
that's a good thing to catch.
Yeah.
It's our pleasure to have you here, Jeff and I and Sammy. We do the show. We put a lot of work into it, and we try to study as best we can the topics we are going to be sharing with you today. We have as we always do, a variety of them, and I think that you will enjoy them. And certainly, we want you to weigh in anytime you would like. Let me just say off the top that you can see my hat. It says Maggie Moo Crew, Hoosier Custom Meats. That's our sponsor. They're in Italy, Texas. It's spelled Italy, but if you know anything about Texas, is that we know how to say words a unique way. Around here, it's Italy, Texas.
Italy.
There is no A in the word. It's Italy, Texas, about 20 minutes south of Waxahachie on the way to Waco. But Hoosier Custom Meats, we'll have more to say about them at the end of the show. But this is their hat, and they are a great sponsor, and we really appreciate them. So I'm going to wear this today in honor of our sponsor. So here we are. It's number 118 episode. Huh? Terry. Hey, Terry. Welcome, bud. Saw your mom and dad on Sunday and really enjoyed being with them. Glad to have you here. It's our number 118th episode. As you know by now, we like to take the number of the episode and have Sammy go out and find famous, well-known athletes across the four major sports who wore the number, in this case, 18. We know nobody wore 118. I say that every show, but in this case, it's number 18. So, Sammy, what do you got?
I'm starting off. I got 9 for the
All
NFL.
right, I'm gonna give you like 3 right out of the gate.
Okay.
Peyton Manning, we know that.
Okay.
Roman Gabriel of the LA Rams from way back.
I don't have him.
You got to get a better source. Caleb Williams.
I don't have him either. He's a sophomore.
He made a big turnaround in Chicago.
Yeah,
All right, well, that's all I got for you.
All right, Peyton Manning, Charlie Joyner for the
Yeah.
Oilers,
And Chargers.
Randy Moss wore number 18 for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Viking for a long
I don't
time.
think he wore 18 at the Vikings.
No, I think he wore 81.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got a little inversion going.
Yeah, he did.
And then I go to Emmett Thomas for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson for the Vikings. AJ Green, wide receiver for the Bengals. Calvin Ridley, and then Cooper Kupp wore number 18 in either his rookie season, but during the Rams.
Yeah. Well, no, he wore 10 of the Rams.
I saw pictures of it.
No.
I saw pictures of it. I'll show you after the show.
Okay, no, you
Pictures don't lie.
We come back on Thursday and I'll prove you wrong.
Okay.
Good thing you got Chuck not here yet, because he'd be on my side.
Okay. And then we're going to NBA. I only have 3.
NBA, let me think.
I only
That's
have
a
3.
weird number for NBA. I don't know.
I have 3. I got Dave Cohen's for the Celtics.
The Celtics way back would play with Havlicek.
Bailey Howell for the Celtics, and then Alec Burks. He plays right now for the Heat. Not very good.
No, obviously.
All right, going to MLB.
All right, number 18 MLB. I don't is Dustin Pedroia on there?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I don't know.
I got Mel Harder. Ever heard of that?
No.
Indians. Daryl Strawberry.
Oh yeah, the Mets
Yeah.
and the Dodgers.
Johnny Damon
Yep,
for
played for
the
the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Yep. Ben Zobrist.
Yep.
Gene Tenants. Moises Alou
Moises Alou.
Moises Alou.
for the Marlins, and then Brett Saberhagen.
Yes, a
What were
pitcher for
the
the
other
Royals.
Alou brothers?
Yeah, that was
Philippe.
Philippe Moses. One of them was a son. Um, Played for the Cubs, left field.
Manny,
Manny Alou. Yeah, I can't remember.
I think.
All right, and hockey, I wouldn't have any idea.
I think I'm starting off with either a dad and a son or two brothers, but I'll start with Dennis Savard
Yeah, okay.
Savard.
for
Good,
the
Sam.
Blackhawks, and then Serge
Savard.
Savard. Are they dad and
From
son?
the
Yeah.
Canadians.
Dad and
Yeah.
son. Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
No, maybe brothers.
No, they're not brothers.
they got to be dad and
I
son. then.
think there's dad and son.
Serge would be the older.
Yes.
And then Marion Hossa.
Yeah.
He wore 81 and 18. He switched them
Yeah.
around. Dave Taylor for the Kings.
Yeah.
Ed Westfall for the Bruins. Zach Hyman, Oilers, and then Audrey Palat for the Lightning.
You know, Hossa lost an eye playing hockey on a follow through swing. A player
Did he find
clipped
it?
his eye. I mean, literally, he was out of hockey. All right, there you have it. Number 18. All right, Jeff's dressed up like he's about to go on the ice for the U.S. Olympics hockey team, men's hockey team, that is. That's an old picture. That's AI. Anyway,
But I'll be
so
watching the ladies at 1:10 today. I'm racing home. I'm not doing
who are
anything.
they playing?
U.S. and Canada.
Oh,
It is
nice.
I know the ladies think they're pretty special, which they are, but they claim that is the biggest rivalry in all sports.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Well, I mean, I like watching hockey, and so particularly at playoff time and Four Nations and the Olympics. I love that. So I might flip it on in my office and watch it a
Yeah.
little bit too. They're pretty good.
They've come quite a ways.
Yeah.
And I remember in the early 2000s, and I was still playing some men's league hockey, and I'm watching this great rivalry between these two, and I'm thinking, this is fun to watch, but I think teams in my adult men's league could take these gals, and then
You're a
they have,
braver man than me.
but they have continued to progress.
Yeah,
Their shooting is great.
yeah, they're good. I agree.
They've come a long way.
I agree.
More progress than has happened in basketball.
I would agree. The Olympics are a great time of every other year, obvious every 4 years, obviously, but they're staggered. So
Right.
next year will be the is it next year? No, in 2 years it'll be the Summer Olympics, but in LA in
They
2028.
used to be on the same cycle.
Yeah,
Then
yeah, that's too much.
they broke it up.
But anyway, I don't know if you guys have been watching the Olympics, but I'm enjoying it. My sports that I like watching will obviously be hockey. I enjoy downhill skiing. I enjoy the speed skaters. Logan Paul's girlfriend, her name is Hutta Peerdman from some Scandinavian country, blew it away last night or yesterday. But I wanted to read you guys, Lindsey Vonn, the real, I mean, I admire Lindsey Vonn. She's in her 40s. I don't know how many Olympics she's been in. She's well known. She,
I think
as
they're
you all know,
fifth.
she crashed in a practice run about 2 weeks ago, blew out her left knee, or I think her left knee, ruptured her ACL, and sucked it up and decided she would try again.
And she'd already had a partial replacement on the other knee.
Yeah, so her knees are all messed up. So she tried again, and I think it wasn't yesterday, it was Sunday. She crashed. It was a vicious crash. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but she got her arm hooked in the gate, and it just spun her. And I mean, the way in which she fell, it's a wonder she didn't break every lower extremity. It was brutal. And she laid there crying and screaming and all that sort of thing. I want to read you guys a quote that I sent to my staff last night, to everybody on staff. This is what Lindsey Vonn had to say about her experience in this Olympics. He said, this is about half of the quote, but the rest of it, I'm not reading it all. quote, and similar to ski racing, we take risks in life. We dream, we love, we jump, and sometimes we fall. Sometimes our hearts are broken. Sometimes we don't achieve the dreams we know we could have. But that is also the beauty of life. We can try. I tried, I dreamt, I jumped. I hope if you take anything away from my journey is that you all have the courage to dare greatly. Life is too short not to take chances on yourself because the only failure in life is not trying. Close quote, Lindsey Vonn. I think that's excellent. And it really is. Those are words to live by. And
Yeah.
this woman stood. I mean, chances of her winning would have been not equivalent to a miracle on ice, but it would have been pretty big if she'd have won a gold. But here she is saying, "I'm going to go do it again," and that's it. And
It,
her dad said today, said, uh, "If I have anything to say about it, that's it." Yeah,
right, and she'd had 5 races in that circuit coming up to it, and she
yeah,
won 2, and
yeah,
she was always in the top 5, so
yeah,
we won't rule her out. I thought she had an interesting quote also before that one came out, talking about the actual accident. And you know how we always talk in sports about a game of inches,
yeah.
right? She said,
5 inches.
she said, I cut that first gate 5 inches too close,
Yeah, she. It's it. Yeah,
and
it is amazing.
Did you speak on what actually her injuries were? Do you
Her
know?
injury, well, she said that she complex fracture of her tibia, which is your shin
Yeah.
area, and that she had one surgery and she's got to have multiple surgeries now.
Oh, okay.
So, when she's 30 years from now, she's going to be hobbling around with a cane probably, but that's the price you pay. But I admire her, and her quote was awesome. On the local front, Waxahachie has a new high school football coach. His name
nice,
is Lawrence Williams. He was on staff, has a lot of experience. He obviously being on staff contributed to the success that Waxahachie has seen
right?
in recent years, which is a lot of success. So from the Sun, from Grit and Good News, from what are our other platforms? Well, that's enough. We wish you the very best, Mr. Williams, Coach Williams. So,
Congrats,
good
yeah.
luck. Yeah, congrats. Well, a few Tarnations I want to mention. We are going to talk more extensively about the mayor of Waxahachie, Billie Wallace, and her abhorrent behavior a couple of weeks ago. Of just unacceptable, and I'm not going to stop hounding her about it. Bad Bunny. I didn't see any of it. Did you guys see Bad Bunny?
I saw some bun. I saw some bun.
You saw some bun?
Yeah.
It's funny, my buddy up in Buffalo, Maury, he and I were talking for about an hour on Sunday afternoon, and I said, Maury, you gonna watch Bad Bunny? He said, Man, I was all excited because I thought they said Playboy Bunny, and I was already, and his wife standing right there, and she's like, Oh, Maury, put a sock in it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what he said.
We had 3 TVs going. We had the outside porch, we had
Yeah,
the living room, we had one going in the den. And so we did put one on the Charlie Kirk group, and I saw a little bit of bun. I was I heard him make a comment for it, and I got a little bit soft thinking, maybe I'm okay with the bunny here. He said, "You don't have to understand anything I say. You just need to know how to dance,
yeah. Well,
because I'm gonna make you dance." I thought, well, cool. I like that. He
there.
comes out there. He's got a gorgeous all white suit on. I go, okay, this isn't so trash. And I'm just gonna rate it not nearly as bad as I
I
expected.
rate it F minus 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 minus, along with Roger Goodell and any of the decision-making people at the NFL for of all the talent we have in this country,
Right.
of patriotic talent. I mean, meaning those who are, like obviously Toby Keith couldn't be there, but I'm talking about patriots in the music industry, either by their service or by their deed in terms of honoring the service members. Uh, we have so much talent in this country. We got to go get Bad Bunny, and then Goodell wants to say, "Well, we're not going to change it." I didn't watch one split second of it, nor will I, but I did watch Kid Rock on the TPUSA, and I enjoyed the first couple of songs. I had the girl mixed up. I thought it was who did I think it was, Sammy? I forget her name. It wasn't her, but she was good. And then they had technical difficulties with Kid Rock doing what Kid Rock does, and that's jumping all. He's got skinnier legs than I do, jumping all over the place. I mean, the dude is an entertainer for sure. They had technical problems. It was like his, you know how sometimes you'll watch TV and your sound is off.
Mm.
They're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a delay, so that was, and then, but all of a sudden it stopped, and then they go to, uh, I forget how they introduced Kid Rock, but his real name, which is Robert Ritchie, said, "Let's hear from our Robert Ritchie," and he sang "Till I Can't" by Cody Johnson. He sang that, and what was a magnificent rendition, if you ask me. And he added a last verse to it,
Mm-hmm.
which is about God and Jesus and the cross. It was awesome in that sense.
Terry says, I have a Spanish speaking friend and he told me he couldn't understand what Bunny was saying. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah,
That's what the man said. You don't have to. You don't
yeah.
have to know.
Well,
But
I,
bad.
I, I will say it. I did have my feet moving a little bit, but I didn't
I
stay
hope you
that
didn't
long.
pull
well,
a
I mean, did
muscle.
you see the perspective from the people that were at the game? Because what Bad Bunny did, I've seen clips. He went into a little like hut, a little like house or building that they pulled onto the field, and nobody from the stands could see anything. What was going
Yeah, no,
on?
I think the
It was all for
NFL, the
TV.
NFL under Goodell, the NFL is so woke, it's not even funny,
Right.
Yeah,
and it's just sick to me. I did read that Bad Bunny afterward and still closed down his Instagram, other social media. I don't know if he was
Yeah.
getting barraged, I don't know. But anyway, there you go. So when you hear the name Kid Rock, you know who that is. When you hear the name Robert Ritchie, that's Kid Rock's real name and a totally different persona. Which I think is kind of cool. Let me mention also that
stopping. So I want people to
both
understand
in
that House
and on our
Democrats,
digital
we
sites,
are
we
going to be
will
on their
have
asses. Like, that's just the
endorsements
reality.
for one of the races, the race for HD10. That race between John Garrett, Matt Authier, and Brian Harrison. So we will have that tomorrow. That will be the only endorsement that runs in our print edition between now and election day. But we will have several other endorsements of other races digitally uh, before next
Right.
Tuesday because that's when early voting starts.
And there's no primary involved. It's those three. Just go at it.
Just go at it, and there could be I think that race is like every other. There could be a runoff if not one of them. If none of the three get above 50%, then there has to be a runoff of the top two.
It's hard to
Uh,
get that, isn't it?
uh get above 50 and a three.
Yeah.
But there's no secret here, and I'm just going to be blunt as I usually am. I think Brian Harrison is a clown. And wherever he goes, all that's missing is the tent, if you ask me. And the other day, screaming in a forum last week in Midlothian, just screaming like he's lost his freaking mind. It just screaming and dancing around. The man
Really?
is despised in Austin, and I get his supporters say, "Well, we don't want him to be, part of that crew down in Austin and blah blah blah." I mean, I on one hand, I get that you don't want another politician just doing what politicians do, but when a legislator is despised by both sides of the aisle and can't get anything done, why do we elect him? He can do all this yelling and screaming and dancing around like a fool all he wants to without being our state representative. We need a state representative who does what that says. That is, represents Ellis County and all of HD10. But for Brian Harrison to not be able to get anything done in 4+ years, not one thing, not one. And you can listen to him talk about it the other day in that forum. I am the best, most effective representative in the country. I want to say, what drugs are you on, dude?
What's the stat about how many bills he introduced and none
He's introduced over or
over two,
co-authored,
200,
authored
203?
co-authored 205,
Okay.
and none of them have been adopted as a bill. Now I don't.
Let that one
Again,
sink in, folks.
yeah, I mean
Let that.
it's like saying, okay, we're gonna recruit this guy. He can throw the ball 100 miles, but he can't throw it inside the playing field, on the playing field. I've given all kinds of analogies. Why, for you guys supporting Brian Harrison, what's the point? I mean, he can do what you think he's doing for you and not be a representative, because being a representative, he's not achieving one thing that he can't achieve even if he weren't a candidate. That's the point. So applaud Brian Harrison all you want to, and let him run wild with his monkey show. But when it comes to a real representative, we got to have one in Austin. There are things that are being decided upon in funding, in infrastructure issues, in education, all sorts of things that we have no representation. Matter of fact, it's worse than that because what the presence that Harrison has down there, he's laughed at, he's mocked at, he's ostracized, he's not nobody wants anything to do with him, and I'm talking about people on our side. Uh, so applaud Harrison all you want to, but at least cast a vote for somebody that'll do something that you can point to. It just makes no sense to me. It drives me nuts. Other races that will,
Can I?
yeah.
Let's go a little bit more on that. State representative, they only serve when the legislature is in session, unless they have a special session, and the session normally runs
Well, they don't. No,
3 or 4 months.
They every other year. They serve 2-year terms. They're always serving supposedly, but the work gets done in Austin from just say January through May
Okay, right.
every other year. That's the session. But they when they're not in session, they're obviously still down there here working working for us. Unless you're Brian Harrison. Unless you're Brian Harrison, you're not doing jack you know what for us. Nothing.
They're only in session every other year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless they have the special session.
Unless they have a special session, which
Okay.
they had this year
So,
or last year. I'm sorry.
do most of them have a quote unquote real job in addition?
Well, most do because what you find are those who are wealthy enough to be able to be a representative that pays the salary for a state representative is just say it's not exact, so don't jump on me, but approximately $8,000 a year. But there's a 600 and something, I think it's 600 and something dollar a day stipend. So it's most people there would have well, I wouldn't say most, but because there are plenty of wealthy people out there that can do that.
Does Brian have a second job?
Brian, no, not really, but his wife is the breadwinner in that family. She works for BP. And so
Okay.
Brian is the Labradoodle, what do you call him, breeder. That's what he did before he got into politics. So we have more to say about Brian Harrison. I can't believe that this quality community, people in it will say, I don't care if he hadn't been able to do anything for us as our representative. The way he talks about Sharia law and he's gotten this done and that done is enough. I just he can still do that. He doesn't need to be our representative. He's not doing anything. He makes us look like a bunch of idiots. And then the other races we are following specifically are county judge, Ellis County judge. That is really it's not a judge. It does no trials, nothing like that. It's more of an executive, Ellis County uh, executive. It's more like a mayor of a county position. That one, I think it's head and shoulders. Lane Grayson, Travis Smith doesn't need to be anywhere near that office. And there's a third opponent, Cameron Rayburn, young man, former mayor of Ennis. He's in that race as well. But Lane Grayson has been a longtime commissioner, knows what's going on perfectly well, and is well suited to be the next county judge. So we'll have more to say about that. And there are a bunch of races. I'm telling you, this is the sample ballot. I don't know how many pages it is, but this is the sample ballot for March. And there's a whole bunch of races all the way from United States Senator down to precinct chairs. And then I believe there are 13, let me see, 13 propositions, or maybe 10 propositions, somewhere in the at least 10 propositions that you all need to know about because you're going to be asked to vote yes or no on those. So there's a lot of information. If anybody listening needs to have a sample ballot sent to you, we'll be happy to send it to you. Just call us at 972-316-7707 and we'll have somebody send it to you. All right, so there you go for all of that. Let's talk about Billie Wallace. So Billie Wallace is the mayor of Waxahachie. The way mayor of Waxahachie is chosen is that the 5 council members, including the person eventually chosen as mayor, essentially, I think it's either every late May, or depending on if there's a runoff, but late May, early June, will vote on who should be among them the mayor. It's no different than being a council person. It's the same responsibility, same role. The mayor just has the mayor title, and in some all intents and purposes, it's kind of the face of our community, which makes this even more troubling to me. But Billie Wallace has been our mayor now going on maybe 2 years. I have opposed that idea. We'll continue to oppose it. I want to show you a video. Sammy's going to cue it up here, but there is a massive development that's being was voted on the other. Let's see, today's Tuesday. Not last night. Last Monday night. I believe it was last Monday night.
I think they moved it to Wednesday because of the weather.
Okay, so whenever it was recent. So the vote on this Minto, M-I-N-T-O project, which is a massive development on 35 west of 35 Brookside Road, is a pretty big deal to the people of Waxahachie. It's going to increase when all said and done, although it will take a couple of decades for it to be all said and done. We'll add about 65% to 70% more in population to Waxahachie, so it's 13,000 households, rooftops. It's massive, and with all of that growth comes all sorts of issues. And so that was what was up for debate and up for vote the other night. Well, a longtime resident of Waxahachie got out to speak in opposition to well, she was in favor of the project. She was opposing Billy and another council person who voted against it. It passed, by the way, on a 3-2 margin. But this resident, Leanne and Bill Kelly, had been here a long time, are well known, good people, and she got up to basically tell the mayor in a very professional kind way, very very calm, even keeled, no screaming, no nastiness, that she believes Billy's making the wrong decision, and Billy acted completely out of character. And I will tell you, if that would have been me, I would have taken legal action about free speech, constitutional rights, and I would have never sat down as long as my allotted time was still available, which it was.
And she was the last to speak of a long line of people, most of which were opposing it. A
I
couple of
think there
us,
were more people that got up and spoke about a variety of subjects, some of which was still about this issue. Billy was trying to shut people up because Billy came in that meeting with a bad attitude, and that's not how a mayor conducts him or herself, especially in our community. It's if I saw that somewhere else in the country, which I have before, I'm like, those people are lost. So let's cue it up. It's only how long is it, Sammy? All right, let's play it. You guys watch this, and you tell me whether or not you have a problem with it.
Not to. Thank you.
Ms. Kelly, y'all own property in this, correct? Shouldn't you have a decision on how you use that property, or if you profit from
Yeah, I
that
thought
property?
it was kind of a free country.
Right.
Yeah, you sure
Because
do.
you're the property owner, correct? Just making sure. And for everyone that keeps saying Frisco, that's the wrong F word to be using. Because, again, this will not develop like Frisco. It will develop like Houston. And we have to realize that. We are a county larger than Tarrant County. And that's how we will develop if it is outside of city control because of what the legislature has done. That is a very, very, very real thing. And to not look at that is extremely short-sighted. So, Ms. Kelly, thank you for y'all's 20-plus years of conversations on this.
Yeah, it has been it's been close probably to 3 decades, which I'm sure you're not aware of that either. You don't know the makings that have gone into this. The blood, the sweat, the time, you were unaware.
Okay.
And just really kind of disappointed me in what you said there tonight.
Just a simple question. I have a right to ask any question.
Well, why
here
would you
tonight.
ask a question you know the answer
Because
to?
your name's on here, so
Yeah,
I'm just
everybody
wondering.
knows it.
I think I would support it too if I stood to gain financially from it. I believe I probably would. Maybe I don't know. So next, Terry.
See, I think I still have a couple minutes.
No, we don't
Yeah,
have
because
the
he
timer
talked during
on.
some of my time. So I don't know what you're.
I'm
I
not
don't know, you're
going to
making me
argue with you.
ashamed
You
to-
can sit down right now. I'm not
to,
arguing with you. Sit down.
Call you a fellow Waxahachiean.
hate to have somebody escorted out of here, but I will. Terry?
That's good.
Good evening.
So there you have it.
If we need a break, I'm willing to wait.
There you have it. Leanne Kelly, the person standing there, is allotted, just like every other person that stands before council, is allotted a certain number of minutes. Mrs. Kelly did not exhaust that. She still had time to be able to stand there and talk. That's her constitutional right. She wasn't belligerent. She wasn't hateful. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't out of order. She wasn't anything. She was as even keeled as you can be, particularly as she's being goaded by a mayor who, prior to that, what you just heard, the mayor who already knew the answer, the Kellys own land where this is happening. And, I'll just say this for people who say, well, they're voting yes because they own land and will benefit from it. Well, isn't that the point of owning land? Any of you that have bought land, isn't the idea to benefit from it? Whether you benefit from it by building a house that you've dreamed of on it, whether or not you want to sell it at some point, whether or not you want to, it's not to buy land and then watch a city decision come through that destroys the opportunity that you invested in. It's to be able to say, yeah, I mean, I know the Kellys. They're not going to say uh, 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 vote that you should be voting yes on this solely because we're going to benefit. They're saying we believe, and I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, but Travis Smith was the sound voice in there saying, look, if we don't control this, then it's going to be a municipal utility district, which means the city has no control, but we experience all the cost in terms of utilities, in terms of emergency services, in terms of all sorts of things. So Leanne Kelly and her husband, just like many people, own land out there. All right. They didn't buy land thinking that Minto was going to come along and do what Minto's doing, but Minto has the right to do it. And Billy's voting no, which puts us in harm's way, in my opinion. But Billy said to Leanne in front of everybody, already knowing the answer to the question, she said, well, don't you own land out there? And aren't you going to benefit from your support of it? And Leanne's like, well, you already knew that, first of all. Secondly, well, yeah, I mean, what does that have to do with anything? Of course.
Scott, I'm putting that on my top 10 dumbest questions ever asked in a political situation, and I can't tell you what the other 9 are.
Yeah.
And furthermore, Billy later on was talking about why she was opposing it and about the 72-cent additional tax going on to those people out there compared to the 61 that everybody's going to get. They're going to pay out there. They're going to pay 61 plus 72, and she the way she approached that whole thing was just so upside down, and it was so where are you coming from this? And the point she was making about that 72 was that would that be a burden on those people? And you know, it's one of those deals that when you go and you sign 100 pages of things when you're signing a house, and then this one slips in, and then once you're there, then you find out about this. I mean,
Yeah.
but and she said, "Well, I've sold houses." Well, yeah, and guess what? Didn't you make money on them?
Yeah, I think
It was
it's
ridiculous.
Billy Wallace has as much business being the mayor of Waxahachie as a dead rat being the mayor of Waxahachie. I get that people like Billy, and there was a time when Billy and I, particularly when my pal Scott Dorset was injured, seriously injured, in 4-year rehabilitation before he passed away from being hit by a truck. The Wallaces, I will be the first to tell you, the Wallaces stepped up and were very, very kind to the Dorsets and to Scott and to the idea of serving another human being. I will be forever grateful for that. But that doesn't mean that just says, okay, well, you can go do what you want to now, and we don't have anything to say about it. This is the mayor of a going on a 60,000 population city that will grow exponentially. It's one of the fastest growing communities in America. This is the mayor of this city telling a resident, the voter, that's who Billy Wallace works for. Billy Wallace works for Leanne Kelly and me and you and Sammy and everybody else that votes here. That's who Billy works for. She's telling a resident who has a constitutional right to stand there and talk. It doesn't matter what she wants to talk about. Billy can't control that. But Billy telling her to sit down, and if she doesn't, she's going to be escorted out. That's unacceptable. And Billy, I know you don't have the guts to come and talk to me anymore. You blocked us, you all this other crap that you've done, which just makes this matter worse. But the truth is, you ought to be I saw Leanne on Sunday and asked Leanne if Billy had apologized to him. She said no, she hadn't apologized to me, and it's been 2 weeks since that happened. It's unacceptable on every level. Billy, I've said this in a column. Billy ought to make a public apology to Leanne Kelly and to the citizens of this community. I will tell you, as the leader of or the whatever of the Waxahachie Sun, whatever you want to call me, I don't really care. I will not let this go. This will, when Billy decides to run for reelection, this will be all over the place. And there have been residents that come to me, both in writing and text and in calling and saying, Scott, we got to make this the Metroplex media aware of this. And I'm not for that because it reflects on our community. But it's almost like Brian Harrison. I mean, what are we doing? We're putting yahoos in these positions. It's unacceptable. And I don't care if her husband's a judge. I don't care if they consider themselves to be a power couple, whatever, all that nonsense. What you just saw is dead wrong. And anybody defending it, shame on you. That's wrong. And I can tell you, as a resident, a passionate resident of this community, which is a community that I can call my home now, I love. If a mayor, I don't care who it is, told me within my allotted time, my constitutional right that I could to sit down, I'll still be standing there. And you know, I think Amy Hedke is one of the most deplorable people on the planet, but Amy Hedke is also somebody that says, you know what, the Constitution means something, and we're going to follow it. And Billy breached it and doesn't have the guts or the courage or the class or the ethics to apologize to the people that she did it to. So shame on her.
And before we wrap this up, I'm going to go back to something you said, because I watched the whole thing up till Leanne finished, and I thought she was done. So
No,
excuse
there
me.
was more. Yeah,
Okay. Um,
she was done,
she was.
but there were more. There was more.
I was stunned by how Travis Smith seemed to be the person that knew more about that than anybody else on the council. I thought his points were spot on, flat out compelling. I was extremely impressed with
Yeah.
that, and so kudos
Yeah.
to you,
I
Travis.
mean,
I gotta say
again,
that, man.
again, I don't, a 3-person race for county judge, Travis should come in fourth. But that doesn't mean that I can't say that Travis was the voice of reason
He
in
was
that
that, yeah.
discussion. And that's the problem. That's the challenge for Travis, is that, as I used to tell him when he worked for me at the Daily Light, the only one's going to sabotage your career, Travis, is you. And I'll be damned if that isn't playing out in full display in real time, because Travis has the ability to think intuitively. He has the ability to be reasonable. He has the ability to be illogical. But where he gets off track is that he makes stupid decisions about how he treats people and how he responds to criticism and things like that. So Billy is out of line. Patrick Suter also voted against it, and Patrick Suter I'm a pro Patrick Suter. He's a smart guy. I hope he has a chance to be our next mayor. He's voting against it. At some point, he and I will catch up and talk. Uh, my concern for those of you who say, "Oh my God, we can't have that happen," it's like the old Amco commercial of years gone by: either pay me now or pay me later. If Minto's coming, and Minto is, you have two choices: either it's in the city's jurisdiction in the city limits, or it becomes a municipal utility district, which are kind of runaway communities that don't have the resources, that aren't required to have the resources to support themselves, and the city has to take on that responsibility. And it is a massive burden, expense every way, figurative, literal. It's a massive burden for a community like Waxahachie. So the three that voted for this, although I don't know if Trace understands really what he voted for, but I know that Travis and Chris Wright understand that we do not want a mud having anything to do with Minto and vice versa. We want it to be something the city has a say in. And for the mayor of Waxahachie to vote against it's kind of bizarre, but the way she treated people who were chastising her professionally uh, about her vote, and then to lash out is just unacceptable. We're going to stay on the Waxahachie kick real quick. We're running out of time to cover everything we have here. We talked about it a little bit last week, and there may be cities of people that are watching that aren't in Waxahachie that may be going through the same thing. We have a system here, we're called an independent city, which means when people who run for local office, you won't, they'll put it on their signs. But when you go to the ballot box and you see that sample ballot, it doesn't have the letter in front of their name. Doesn't matter if you're running for city council, you're not going to know, other than by your own research, by looking at the ballot, you're not going to know whether or not they're Republican or Democrat. We're an independent city, so we just want to vote the best people in. And this runaway group called Ellis County Conservatives, I remember years ago, they wanted to censor David Hill, the Republican mayor, although it didn't matter to me whether he's Republican or Democrat on an ultra local level. It doesn't really matter. Two of the best council people I think we've had in a long time are both Democrats, Chuck Beatty and Mary Lou Shipley. I didn't care that they were Democrats, and I'm as conservative as the day is long. But the Ellis County Conservatives, that's not what this is. This is a rogue group who's run amok, wanted to censor David Hill for voting for his two colleagues on the council who had been colleagues for a long time, and he wanted them to continue because they were good. This Ellis County Conservatives wanted to censor him for voting for or supporting a Democrat. We got too many people in positions of trying to create influence that don't know what they're doing. And so anyway, we're an independent city. Our council members are voted on. They serve 2-year terms. They are volunteers. They might get a little stipend. They get a T-shirt and a hat, that kind of thing. They get a polo too, probably a jacket here and there. But they don't. You got to have a day job or be retired or be ultra wealthy to be able to be a council person in Waxahachie or a city like ours. So they're volunteers. The mayor position, as I told you earlier, is voted on by the members of council. That's the same way. The terms are 2 years, as I mentioned, and believe that's it. Well, now for the May election, there'll be a votes for changing the charter to say that the terms would go from 2 years to 3 years instead of just two. That it would go from 5 council members that we have now to 7, and that the mayor's position would be a separate item on the ballot, and that the community would vote for the mayor of Waxahachie. Of those, to the extent that it matters, and I'd like to hear what you guys think, I'm opposed to going from 2 years to 3 years. I think to keep people like Billy and people who have been on council that don't know what they're doing any longer than 2 years is not a risk I'm willing to take. So I think the 2 years ought to stay in place. 2 years is what U.S. congressmen and congresswomen have. There's a reason for that. So no value in going to 3 years, in my opinion. Going from 5 to 7, I understand why that would be an issue. However, we have 5 council members now. We have a hard time getting people to run for council with 5 people. So if you want to grow it to 7, where are we going to get where are we going to get people? I mean, good people, knowledgeable people, smart people. Where are we going to get them? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So it's that I'm not really in favor of until we have a better system. One, we don't have a strong Republican Party in Ellis County. We just don't. And I think in the months to come, I'm going to be able to show empirical evidence of that. And with respect to the Democrat Party, I think it's stronger. It's much smaller. 15-20% of our community in Ellis County vote Democrat. So they're far behind the 8 ball. But even them, I've said to Kelly Blackburn, who runs the Democrat Party, put up good candidates. Again, we're an independent city. We're not going to be talking about people who are going to last long if they go in there and start wanting to raise taxes on their local, fellow citizens. That ain't going to fly. But we need quality candidates. We need young people. There's a guy running for a commissioner's office, a commissioner position, that's 43 years old. He's sharp. He's a bit aggressive, blunt, and I like him. And we'll be talking more about him in the weeks to come. But we have a hard time with 5 now. I don't know what's going to be like for 7. And then so I'm not in favor of that. But the one I am in favor of is putting the mayor standalone on the ballot.
I've been trying to think, where would we get our mayoral candidates? Do you believe that if we suddenly made that decision, we would likely get our candidates from current council people, or do
Mhm.
you think that they would come completely off the blue? Like,
Both.
um,
I do. Both.
who do you think would have the greater success? Somebody outside of local politics?
You know, I do. Well, I will say this: if right now, let's assume that it gets passed, then I think people like Patrick Suter, Chris Wright, could be wrong, but my instinct, I haven't talked to either one of them about this, uh, would run for mayor, and I
Mm-hmm.
would I would be okay with either one of them being
Mm-hmm.
mayor. I would have to study it more and talk to them in depth, but I feel comfortable with those guys. I don't always agree with them, but I do think that uh, they care, genuinely care, authentically care about our community. But then there would be those not in politics, but that are smart, caring, thoughtful, effective leaders,
People from our business community.
business community. There may be people from our medical community. There may be people from different communities, education. There may be all kinds of people out there who will say, you know what,
If
I don't want to
I
sit on
can run
council.
a successful business, I can run a successful town,
Well, I mean
right?
that's the theory. You know, it was Ross Perot who, for those of you that don't remember, back in 1992 when Bill Clinton was wanting to be president, Ross Perot said, just because, the analogy was, just because you can run a 7-Eleven doesn't mean you can run a Walmart. And he was talking about saying to Bill Clinton, just because you can run Arkansas doesn't mean you can run the country. So I get that, but you would think that, I mean, of the business owners I know that are successful, that they could they
Yeah.
they could overcome the political politics and still run a quality city. But therein lies another issue, is that there are some cities in America, Tuscaloosa, Alabama is a perfect example, where it's very strong mayoral leadership,
Right.
decision-making leadership, and the council is there to support, and the city manager is there to support. In our case, it's been strong city manager management and less mayor, city council. They've been there to support. So you have mayor strong cities and you have city manager strong cities. If we make a change to an elected mayor, I believe that would begin to shift to us being a mayor-led city.
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes it even more pertinent that people like Billie Wallace shouldn't be mayor here. I mean, I think of people like, uh, I'm not going to put them on the spot. They may not want that me to say, but there are a number of people I can think of that would be great mayors of our city. So there you have it. That's what's coming in May, and it'll be here before you know it. All right, boys. Sammy, I think unless you can do them fast,
He
your random thoughts,
he can do
do them fast. Let's hear what a 21-year-old
them fast and good.
goofball has to say today.
All right, ready?
Ready when you
Born
are.
ready.
Pride yourself more for giving than receiving.
Amen.
Amen.
That was one of the more boring Super Bowls in probably the recent years.
No
True.
doubt.
I only watched the first half.
And who did you want to win?
Seahawks.
Yeah.
And they won, right?
I won, right? Yeah. Even a
Um,
blind squirrel gets lucky ever so often.
Finds an
and
acorn.
then
Yeah.
I said card collecting is a dangerous, dangerous hobby.
Card?
Yeah, like sport
Yeah,
card.
Sammy is obsessed with cards, and I swear
Oh,
you better start saving some of your money.
Hey, I might win it back.
Yeah, I bet you will.
And then
you're talking about
Sammy got a
like
card. Sammy got a card. It's
oh,
Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics, and it's got a little circle on there, and it says authentic piece of an authentic game jersey. And I said, Sammy, that's a piece of cardboard painted white.
no, it literally is a piece of his jersey. It's NBA's licensed basketball cards
I
from
said, look, put
Tops.
are
some dirt
you
on it, put some blood on it, so people believe that crap.
are
They're
you
not gonna make it dirty.
have you become a good customer around the corner here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been there.
Worth
yeah,
collectibles. Yep.
yeah.
All right.
And then Kid Rock plus Jesus was awesome.
Yep.
And then today is 5 months without Charlie. So I just want to put that out
Oh,
there.
today's a yeah. Yeah,
So
and one other thing I wanted to mention about politics with a relationship to related to TPUSA. TPUSA came out and endorsed Ken Paxton for the Senate over John Cornyn and Wesley Hunt. So I found that to be really interesting. I don't know the background story there, but Charlie Kirk's organization endorsed Ken Paxton for United States Senate. All right, very good. Poem time. What do we got?
This went into Substack on the 2nd of January, and I guess either nobody read it or nobody paid attention to it, particularly in Minneapolis, where I was going up for a great event, and it got too cold. But I was pretty actually glad to not be in Minneapolis
Yeah.
at this point in January that it was in, and it's called "What I Wish for in America in 2026." Is it too late to dial back hate? Ever prevalent clickbait leads to a never ending debate. Yep, before you take a look, you're ensnared on a
Hook.
treble hook. Very good, treble hook. TV, phone, podcast, newspaper, or book. Stimuli lives in every crook, cranny, or nook. And after this constant bombardment of foul thought, instead of positivity, which you surely ought, regardless of issue, it's all about naught. Trapped in news of negativity, you are caught. In America, we have lost our tolerance. For other views, we've lost our patience. These days, it's all about me. Have we forgotten the concept of we? Going from me to we shouldn't be that tough. Just turn the M upside down and drop your foolish frown. Put the M away. Try it for a day. Then try it for another day. Yep, you're on your way. Now please know that this poet tries hard not to show he's Mr. All Knows It. But I do know for sure our world needs some cure. Let's change our past in a way that will last. Live that old golden rule. You won't be thought of as a fool. Somebody will then feel swell, and you will as well. In 2026, can we possibly see a whole lot more of we? If me is what you prefer to be, sadly, you're barking up the wrong
Tree.
tree.
Very good. I like that poem a lot. America needs some help, and I think it starts with God for sure. No, it starts with God, a reliance on God, and a belief in God, and a cornerstone being God. And take it from there. So, thank you, Jeff. Very good. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Day in
Today
history.
in history. Again, today is Tuesday, February 10th. Big man went 7-3, and thank God for some bonuses, or I'd have been 4-3. I just felt like I lost too many times, but the bonuses can make effect. And I want
Of
some
those
out of you guys. Here
bonuses.
we go.
Yeah. All right.
The treaty ending the 7 Years' War was signed in Paris, with France ceding its territory in Canada to Great Britain.
1892.
1882.
1763.
Yeah, well,
Well, only 100 years off.
missed it by that much.
All right. 0-1.
I missed it too. Nazi Germany's Reichstag passed a law investing the Gestapo secret police with absolute authority, exempt from any legal review.
That's amazing.
right.
1937.
1935.
Nice work. Split the difference, guys. The 36 you both.
Oh,
Good
damn
work.
it. He cheated off of me.
Well, you went too quick. I had it answered.
He stopped wanting to do
He
that.
drafted off me.
He wanted to start be more independent.
Yeah, okay.
And you're
All right.
you're
Sorry,
coddling the
Sam. I'll
boy.
let Sam go first.
An F4 intensity tornado tore through the St. Louis area, killing 21 people and injuring 345. I have a tough time on tornadoes, volcanoes.
1969.
1954.
59.
Booyah.
Oh,
All right. Did you get the bonus on any of those so far?
No, I got no
Okay.
bonuses there.
All right.
I got it right here.
Okay.
I get it both ways. We got a fact bonus in
All
here
right.
too.
Good.
All right.
Good.
The Leniki Bridge connecting West Berlin and East Germany, the Soviet Union exchanged captured American U-2 pilot blank.
no idea.
I don't either.
Gary Powers. It went down in that crash on the other side.
Then you got that.
Yeah.
Good. And so what year? Is that what we're talking about? What
Yeah.
year?
Wait. For Rudolph Abel, a Soviet spy held by the United States. I got the bonus both ways here. Think this one through a little bit. Remember
I
that
don't know what you're
you're
asking.
coming off of 1959. There was this American pilot that went down, and the
Okay.
Russians had him, and that we did an exchange on the bridge between East and West
Okay.
Berlin.
I'll say
It's newer than 59, but
61.
79.
62.
Good,
Yeah.
Sam.
Okay,
All right.
here we go. Got this one wronger than heck. The 25th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution dealing with presidential disability and succession was adopted as Minnesota and Nevada ratified it.
Wow.
1979.
1983.
1967.
Oh, it tricked
And
us.
I was thinking after I got it right, got it wrong, that
I'm
yeah,
tired of hearing about Minnesota, by the way.
me too.
Okay.
A U.S. commercial satellite and a defunct Russian satellite accidentally collided in orbit over Siberia, destroying both and creating a large debris field in outer space.
Wow.
Wow.
2003.
Was this the last one?
No.
1992.
2009.
Got it.
Sammy's kicking butt. Kicking dad's butt.
And we close with, for the bonus, think where you were
Ooh,
when
I
this
could tie
happened.
it. I could tie with the bonus.
Think where you were when this happened.
All right.
Severe winter storms caused catastrophic wide-scale power outages in Texas. Remember, this is a nationally syndicated deal.
Yeah.
In Texas that left millions in the dark and lasted several days.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
At least 40 people died in Texas
Yep.
in the storm and its
Thanks
aftermath.
to ERCOT.
That was in 2021.
2021.
For the bonus,
Booyah.
booyah. Have we ever had a three-way bonus?
I
I'm
don't
not
know,
sure.
but that tied
Yeah.
me.
Bonus.
Bonus.
Yeah,
4 and
that
4
was rough.
today.
That was
4 and
rough.
4. All right, very good. Let's see. Anything else I want to say about what's coming? We'll be back on Thursday. It's our time before we get to our sponsor. True facts that sound like you know what. Are y'all ready, boys? This is a good one.
I can't wait.
Ready?
Ready.
Sammy?
Always.
True or false? A baseball game contains less than 20 minutes of actual game time. Despite routinely lasting more than 3 hours, baseball games usually only contain about 15 to 18 minutes of actual action. True or false? 20 minutes.
That has got to be false. They only have a seventh inning stretch, and what are they doing for the rest?
Talking about
Yeah, actual
actual
play.
play time. So a pitch, a hit, a throw, those
So after he throws a pitch and the catcher catches it, you're ending it.
yeah, so it's like everybody's just standing around, right?
Man, I gotta say true, but
So actually 20 minutes or less of
that's why I
actual
don't like baseball right
game
there.
activity.
Anybody ask me why I don't like baseball? That's why.
Well, okay, I'm gonna say that that's got to be true too, because there's 27 outs in 15 minutes. I mean, most of those
Watch it
plays
be
don't take a
false.
full minute.
True.
Okay, yeah.
And I just left out telling you it's true. Despite routinely lasting more than 3 hours, baseball games usually only contain about 15 to 18 minutes of actual action.
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
why I
not
don't like that
crazy?
sport. It's horrible.
I'm gonna tell you, the people watching are gonna
And
get
you know,
you.
it was really
There go some
horrible.
people gonna get you.
It was really horrible before they made the rule change with the pitch clock.
It was painful. All right,
Gosh.
Commercial
Our-
time. Here we go.
our sponsor, getting good news, is Hoosier Custom Meats in Italy, Texas. You can see my hat, Maggie Moo and the crew, or something like that. Hoosier Custom Meats. We have samples that we have tried and delicious stuff. So from beef jerky to steak, filet mignon, all that stuff. From big to little to expensive to less expensive, nothing's cheap. Very good food. So for those of you around here, and I'm sure they ship, uh, reach out to Hoosier, Hooser, Custom Meats in Italy, Texas. Their phone number is 903-688-1446. Or you can reach them at HooserCustomMeats.com. HOOSER custommeats.com. Tell them Scott, Sammy, and Jeff sent you.
I saw that box of meat on Sharon's desk on Friday. She said that I don't know what the limits are on size, but they'll deliver. They'll
Yeah.
hand deliver to your house in Waxahachie.
Yeah, they're good. So give them a shot. Don't worry about Omaha beef and all that stuff. Just do something local. These are good people with good product, and you'll love it. So thank you for being with us. We'll be back on Thursday.
And let's remember to make it a great day and put a smile on somebody's face today. We hope we've done that for you.
See ya.
I think we did. Bye.